and welcome to Build Brunch, the daily morning show where we talk about the latest topics in pop culture. I'm Brittany Jones-Cooper.
I'm Shannon Coffey.
I'm Allie Colbert.
And I'm Lucas Tim. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Today we're going to talk about MTV's groundbreaking 8th season of Are You the One and Kanye West's tell-all interview with David Letterman. Plus, internet sensation Benito Skinner joins the table, but first...
As you can see, we're ready to kick off Pride Month. 2019 marks the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall Uprising and a half-century of LGBTQIA+ liberation. This year's celebrations also welcome the first World Pride hosted on United States soil.
And to celebrate Pride even further, we have ice cream from Big Gay Ice Cream.
Big Gay Ice Cream is my favorite ice cream in New York.
No ice cream that is bigger or gayer.
Oh, God, they have so many amazing flavors.
Gosh, yum.
Thank you, guys.
Rainbow sprinkles.
Oh, my God, they're so good.
It's so good. It's so good, it's disgusting.
I know.
So, guys, it is Pride Month. How are you guys going to celebrate?
I'm gonna celebrate by, actually, I would like to say something a little more poignant.
Yeah.
You know, I think as a member of the LGBT community, LGBTQIA LMNOP community, that the word pride in and of itself, I just want to think about for a second. Because it takes a long time, and it's still taking me a long time, to even have acceptance for who I am as a person. So just the idea of pride being a celebration, that next step, is so amazing. And I think because, you know, growing up like queer and like having hesitation from the smallest things that I think a lot of people won't even like fathom, but like choosing the pronoun you want to talk about the person you're going on a date with or whatever it is, it's just amazing that we have this time to really celebrate who we are and raise each other up.
Appreciate that. That's awesome.
When you start referring to people, I said not just they, because you start using the gender pronoun. I mean, this is my first Pride ever as an out person. So yeah, to follow up on Allie, I think this is the big moment of what I've learned is being honest and following the honesty, even if it leads you to somewhere painful. And it has. I've gone through some shit recently that's not been very pleasant, but being where I am now and being okay that I'm just somewhere in the middle of all of this LGBTQIA community, but being a part of it and being okay and happy with who I am and not living with shame anymore has been such a glorifying, freeing experience. And I'm just so happy to celebrate this month and to go to Pride at the end of the month and have a great time.
So cool.
Yay.
Yeah, it's a really cool time. Like I really feel like it's awesome to see like your story and like be living our own stories and we're all a part of it. And it's really great to have just like, I feel like so much more representation right now. Like I'm really excited because one of my favorite shows of all time is it's gonna be a little bit more inclusive.
Which show is it?
It's Your Story.
Oh, I thought we were still going.
I'm setting you up.
Oh, I just want to say really quick, I think allyship is super important. And that's something like my mug says love. And I just hope that's something that people start to maybe lean into a little more this month. If maybe you haven't understood a narrative or a story, to seek that out. There's so much amazing entertainment right now, I think, sharing LGBTQIA stories, whether it's Pose or Vita or She's Gotta Have It. And so if you're somebody who you feel like you don't understand, seek it out and ask questions and like be engaged in this community because it really is a right that for all of us.
Brittany and I watched the L Word at the same time.
Yes.
And it was a really strengthening experience for
I
us.
think so too. It really was bonding. So I just encourage people that you shouldn't feel left out this month. Pride is for everybody and you can be an ally to the people that you love and support in your life. So moving on, MTV has officially announced that the 8th season of the hit dating show Are You the One will be sexually fluid, allowing no gender limitations while the 16 contestants set out to find their perfect match. So Shannon, you said this is one of your favorite shows.
Yeah, I jumped the gun. I'm like really excited. I love Are You the One since the very first season. And since it started, I have been begging for this twist. Because I just think it's like very unique in the sense that it's not like everyone vying for one person's attention. Basically, you have like 10 couples in the house that MTV has put together that are like a perfect match. And they pick people who are notoriously bad at dating, who can't like, you know, find someone who's like the right fit for them no matter what's on the line. And you'll see consistently people will like be attracted to someone who is super toxic and they're always fighting. And then they'll go into what MTV calls the truth booth and they are confirmed not a match. And then they still insist on dating that person and fucking up the whole chance for everyone to win $1 million. Because the whole thing is they have to all have their perfect match in order to like lock in and get the money. And I think this season's gonna be great because in the past it's been super heteronormative. Even there was one season where their big twist was that one guy in the house would have 2 women as a perfect match, and he would get to pick between those 2 women. And the one who got sent away would, even if she was there for the entire show, would literally not get a part of the $1 million, which is really messed up and really sexist if you think about it.
Yeah, I remember that season. They just threw in that extra girl, I think.
Yeah, they just threw in an extra girl, and they were like, one of you guys has 2 perfect matches. And I'm like, then that's not a perfect match.
Totally.
It's just like really shitty.
And the reason why, I mean, this show is like such trash that I've watched and consumed all of it in like one sitting. But, you know, like I've always wanted something like The Bachelor or The Bachelorette to be like, have like a queer season. But that format just doesn't work for that because if I was a contestant on The Bachelorette and I was looking to meet a Bachelorette, I would probably just hook up with all the contestants.
Right.
And we would not give a shit about The Bachelorette. So I can't wait for this. I can't wait to watch it. We're always so late to the game, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like surprised that this is happening now, and I'm also like, this should have happened 15 years ago, but whatever.
No, I've
excited.
never seen an episode of the show. I don't really love watching dating shows. I stick to classy shows like Real Housewives, but I will watch this season. That was a joke, guys. I will watch this season because I think it's so interesting just opening it up that like anyone can date anyone, and it's so much more unpredictable. It's so much more modern. I'm so into this.
Oh, and there's way much more drama to be had too. Like as a show, I'm like, this could be really fun to watch.
Yeah.
I think it's super realistic too, because I get really frustrated. Like, I identify as pansexual, and sometimes I get frustrated because people will only try to set me up with like guys. And I'm like, what about all your cool girlfriends or your non-binary friends? Like, what about those people? Like, why don't you think
about the
outside of the box for
pans?
me?
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, come on.
So do we
Get out
think
here.
most of these people are gonna be pan? Or have they
think-
talked about what the
I think
sort
they're
of...
all sexually fluid or
Yeah.
sexually liquid, according to Sonia Morgan.
Gender liquid.
Gender liquid, yeah.
Gender
Did you guys watch
liquid.
Housewives?
No, did she
She
quote it?
literally was like, yeah, Barbara, she's gender liquid. She's gender
The
liquid, right?
fact that
Gender liquid.
they don't understand the difference between gender and sexuality is like mind-blowing.
And that's the difference
Wow.
between like a show like this versus watching Real Housewives, a bunch of 50-year-old women. Many of you have no idea what's going on in the real world.
Well, there you go. You guys, in other TV news, Kanye West opened up about his struggle with bipolar disorder in his interview on David Letterman's Netflix show, My Next Guest Needs No Introduction. Kanye talked to Letterman about his mental health struggles, growing up in Chicago, and his political views. Take a look.
Define it for me. What is the mechanism that is malfunctioning or is taking a break in your brain? Do you know?
I wouldn't be able to explain that as much, just, you know, because I'm not a doctor. I can just tell you what I'm feeling at the time. And I feel a heightened connection with the universe when I'm ramping up. It is a health issue. This is like a sprained brain, like having a sprained ankle. And if someone has a sprained ankle, you're not gonna push on him more.
Right.
With us, once our brain gets to a point of spraining, people do everything to make it worse.
So I've watched the first 40 minutes of this. Lucas will comment on the last 20.
I'll take that.
But, you know, throughout the first 40 at least, I found Kanye to actually be quite endearing.
I agree.
And I was surprised by David Letterman's ability to connect with Kanye because they're obviously 2 completely different people, but David Letterman really like found a way of sort of like getting on Kanye's level a bit. Kanye even like styled him in his clothes. I loved looking in his house. That was really fun for me.
Favorite part of that is when they go to the kitchen, there's Kris Jenner just in a fur.
Yeah.
Like, oh, camera.
Hello.
I didn't
Yeah.
know you would be here.
Yeah, that was great. Kanye did make some interesting points about bipolar disorder, which I obviously don't know all about. I was surprised to hear, again, because I don't know entirely about the disorder, that he's on no medication.
Right.
Which, what I've learned is that you should always be on medication if you're, but I don't know.
I mean, the way he talks about it is that every person's relationship with their mental health is different. And so
Yeah.
for him, he's made the decision not to be on medication, but he said he is under a doctor's care. So like, I think he's checking in with somebody and doing proper therapy in that way. He does go on to compare it to more intense versions of mental illness where he's like, if you're schizophrenic, you should 100% be taking medication.
Right,
but
right,
for
right.
where he's at, I guess he and his doctors have decided that he can go. So I thought it was important that he made that distinction.
Totally.
Because also David Letterman was like, well, I have been on antidepressants because I was so angry, and we found something that worked for me. So he's actually advocating for it. So I did like the balance of like, your mental health issues are your own personal, and there's like a different treatment plan.
And I was even surprised about like how Kanye was so thoughtful with his language for the first half of it. I didn't see the second half, but I've heard. But like he's saying like, this is my experience, and like this was what worked for me, and this is what I did. Like that was a Kanye that I haven't seen in a while.
I'm with you. I really actually, you know how much I just have not been a supporter of him publicly just having these outbursts and us covering them. But I thought he was really sincere and authentic in this interview. And he even goes to talk about how we need to sort of change how we deal when people are taking into a mental health facility. And I thought that was really important. He talks about how isolating it is and how we take these people away from their family at a time when they're really vulnerable and they need that support. And he basically wants to change the way the system handles that. And I thought that was really important. And I like to see him in this capacity when he's using sort of his own struggles for the betterment of people versus like tearing other people down.
Yeah, I think that's what makes this so complicated, because this interview is a very good example of why Kanye West is so polarizing, because there are, I mean, you know, just like, it's so weird, there really is like a good Kanye and a bad Kanye.
Yeah.
There's so many different sides to him, and you never know. Like, I feel like it's so hard to love someone so much and agree so hard with them on certain topics like mental health. Like, I'm always here, and I love neurodiversity. I love owning your health. I hate the stigma around, you know, like mental illness, and I totally agree with him on that. And then he just takes these weird turns, and he goes down these rabbit holes, and you're just like, I want to love you so much, and you're just making it almost impossible. Like, when he started talking about the Me Too movement, he really lost me, because his focus was how scared men are. And I just think that, like, again and again, like, we hear certain men in power speak to how like scary of a time it is. And I was actually really, really shocked that Letterman stepped in, because he doesn't seem like, I was shocked that he doesn't seem like a type, but he was like, you know, I think this whole, the lifetimes that women have spent being scared on the other end, it totally outweighs whatever you might be feeling in this one moment. Because there's nothing to be afraid of if you're a man, if you haven't been abusing people, if you don't have predatory behavior in your life, then you don't need to be scared.
Right. Yeah, so absolutely, yeah. And I applauded David Letterman for doing that. The first 40 minutes I was with him and really getting enlightened to his experience, but what happened in the last 20 is basically comes around when they start talking about Trump. And Kanye basically says that people who are Trump supporters, who wear the MAGA hat, are bullied by liberals. And now, David Letterman also mentioned this, but I'm gonna say something. There's a difference between if you supported Trump in 2016. If you bought the BS, businessman, working class president, I get it. If you still support the president now, who is discriminating against trans people in the military, ripping away their healthcare protections, shoving children in cages, putting them in, we found out hundreds of kids have been in these detention centers longer than 72 hours. He's anti-choice abortion laws, families who are one $400 healthcare expense going bankrupt. Students who can't afford colleges. This world, there's tornadoes, floods in the Midwest, wildfires in California. This president's done nothing about climate change. He's a possible war with Iran, a trade war with China. If you still support the president, do not tell me how we are bullying MAGA supporters, Kanye West. You either do not know or you do not care. And if you choose which one, I want to know if you do not care about these things, or if you do not know, don't pretend that you know and you're going to lecture me that we can't bully MAGA supporters who are still supporting this president who's ripping this country to shreds.
All right.
That's all I want to say about that. And the final thing is, Letterman says it. Letterman asks, have you voted? He goes, I've never voted. And Letterman goes, well, then you don't have a say. And this is the thing, if you want to complain like me, vote. Vote.
Yeah.
If you vote, you can complain.
And he did get Kanye there. Kanye was like, oh, you got me, you got me. I was like, but he did
He did get you.
He did get you.
He did get you.
You got.
Yeah.
Yeah,
vote.
it's so ridiculous. He doesn't vote, and yet he's speaking on a huge platform, affecting so many minds, and he's not informed. He's just simply not. He is living in a bubble, and you know, I think it's great when Kim Kardashian goes and helps out at the White House. That's awesome, and I want to give props for that. But like, they could be doing so much more, and like, I hate when we praise these celebrities for doing just a little bit.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, yes, they got some people pardoned. That's fantastic. And Trump and the Republicans did pass somewhat of a criminal justice reform, but it was the bare minimum. And now Trump's running away with Kanye West and Kim Kardashian support me, and I'm doing more of criminal justice than Joe Biden did. And it's like, that's not true. It's not accurate. And I think when Kanye says stuff like this, he loses me, because he has a platform no matter what. And people listen to him. People may not vote. People may sympathize with Trump, and I just don't like it. I can't support it.
Yeah, it's so dangerous. I think people don't realize how dangerous it is when he says things like that. It makes Trump seem like, you know, this victim who's getting bullied, and Trump supporters.
Right.
Let's be clear. People in power are not getting bullied.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, again, Charlottesville. Those are mostly Trump supporters shouting Jews will not replace us. And they killed a person. So,
Right.
Yeah.
you know, there's no equal both sides to the level of bullying that's
There's
happening.
good people on both sides, okay?
I mean, that's a thing, but that's what you're
That's
condoning.
horrible.
It's just so I just Kanye, like, he had me for a little bit, and I was empathizing, getting, and at that point you're like, just don't say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it's just impossible to talk about him. Like, it's not fun for me to talk about Kanye anymore because I don't care if he's dressed up like a big Capri Sun or whatever the fuck. It's not fun. It's not funny. Like, the beautiful artist that was is dead to me. Like,
Oh yeah,
it really
Kanye's
is.
been dead for
Like,
a while.
So that's why it's like, oh, it's so cute. Look at him. Oh, I'm like,
Right.
nah. It's like, it's a bad dude.
Yeah, I agree, and I think history will be the biggest indicator of how everything pans out. I mean, we certainly should never be going to Kanye for our political advice. And I think he just constantly reminds us of that. So I'm okay with him speaking out about his mental health issues
Yes.
because that is very obvious and clear to us that there's something going on, and I think it's really powerful when he does. But when he starts talking about politics, I think we should continue to put those earmuffs on.
Yeah.
Just
I do really like this series, though.
Yeah.
I think it's
Oh,
cool.
Dave-
I loved Ellen's episode.
Yeah.
I think that was super powerful.
Yeah, she was really honest
Yeah.
about being assaulted by her stepfather, and the honesty of like her mother not believing her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
which
that's
is so common.
so
Yes.
common. And I like that her mom has come out publicly and apologized for
As
that.
gay,
And said, like, I
Pride.
wish I wouldn't have done that. I think that's going to be really powerful for a lot of parents who choose
Right.
to ignore it when their children come forward.
I think David Letterman clearly has a really mixed history, which we know. Like, in the last season, Tina Fey confronting him, being like, "You didn't hire any women."
Yeah.
But he's someone.
I mean, he assaulted all those interns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like he has a really bad. But his interviewing, at least with this show.
But he's an amazing interviewer.
Well,
But it
yeah,
sounds like he's
I mean, at least
learning.
he's like,
He's learning.
I think he is like, I guess what I did was wrong.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got called out. Now when someone else there says it's a bad time for men, maybe
Right.
I should step in.
Right.
Like, that stuff means something to me. You know, I
Right.
think that's part of the conversation. If you're a man and you're scared, listen, we're not locking men away.
Right.
When this cancel culture everybody hates, cancel culture doesn't really exist. You get canceled for a second. There's so much opportunities to redeem yourself.
Right.
There needs to be less fear, more
Right.
conversation, and there is so much room to just improve and grow and learn, and that's for everyone, including straight, cis, white men who
Yeah.
have assaulted, unfortunately, yeah.
Right.
There's
I
still
agree.
always
Dude,
room for
you
you to
were
come
on
back.
fire today.
Yeah.
Good point.
We're all on fire.
Yeah,
I
you
think.
are. You are.
Fire!
We're killing it. We're killing Pride Month already.
Yeah, man.
Speaking of, guys, now it's time for some candid coffee. Each week we'll answer a question that comes from you, our viewers. The question can be about anything. If you want us to answer something, tweet us at Build Brunch. Now let's get candid. Here's our question for the week.
What is it gonna be?
Denise from Manila, Philippines. What's up, Philippines?
We have a huge following in the Philippines,
Ask,
guys.
what's your
Yeah.
ultimate fantasy date scenario? Who would it be with, and what would you do?
God.
Wow, fantasy date.
Who would it
Wow.
be with?
Who wants to start us
Well,
off?
okay, my fantasy date is a date that I have perfected after a decade of dating in this city. I know when the date's, I'm doing the shoulder thing already.
I know!
I know when it's going well. It's like, I want him to pick a restaurant that also plays music. So we dine, we listen, it's very casual. We're into the groove, we're
When
setting
I
an
make
ambiance.
fun of Brittany, because whenever she gets into it, she's like,
I'm like,
we
ooh,
dine, we
yeah,
drink.
we do this, we drink, he orders the wine. I think the main thing
He
is
orders the
the
wine.
conversation goes for like 4 hours, and then we go to a second spot, we dance, we sort of start to feel it out. And then we have like a really good makeout at the end of the night and go home. And that is like the best date because it leaves you like thinking and wanting more. It's the best.
I love that.
And who it would be with like Jason Momoa or Michael B. Jordan.
Those are your men.
Those are my guys.
I'm gonna go second. So there's two really good dates in my mind. Well, I'm just thinking of that joke on Twitter where it's like, you know what my dream date is? Take me to the mall with $1,000 and leave me there. Okay, but I just watched that episode of Easy with Sophia Bush.
Oh yeah.
And I just like how that tension builds. So right now I'm just thinking Sophia Bush and I in a bar with my girlfriend. And we kind of just all get drinks and then like, hang out.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. That's a great date.
It would be amazing.
Yeah.
That's great.
I don't know.
You said the key word, which is tension, which
That
is all
tension.
you need.
I want that tension. I want
Yeah.
that fire when I get the text. The hand brushing against
Just the
mine.
gentle, yeah.
Oh my God,
You're
I love
obsessed
it.
with tension. That's why
I
you
love
love
tension.
Killing Me season 2.
Tension is so important in the beginning.
Is this like a realistic date or like any date?
Well, it said who would it be with,
Just
so I think it
answer,
could be.
priest, altar boy. What do you want?
Well, I love a good Italian meal. So I'm gonna go to Don Angie
So you
if I could
just
ever
wanna-
get in. If someone would just help me get in, Brittany.
I'll make a call.
I'll go to Don Angie, and like it's like maybe 8 p.m. A lot of wine.
Who are you with?
A good meal. I'm with Jessica Lange. Right now,
Yes.
currently, 70-year-old Jessica
That's
Lange.
where you're at.
And I'm in love with her, guys. And we have a great Italian meal, eating pasta, drinking wine, and then she's, doing her little sexy Jessica Lange voice. We finish, we go walk
We
around the
finish.
West
And then
Village.
you finish.
And then we go home
Wow.
together.
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful and really strange.
Okay, my dream date, I think I wake up and I discover the apocalypse has happened. Okay,
with
and
you.
so most of the population is dead. The only people who have survived are me and like every cast member that I love from every Ryan Murphy show.
Yeah.
So like from Scream Queens, Pose, and American Horror Story. All these people are relevant and alive. And it's me and them, and we get to like just hang out on the planet, like with animals. Animals have survived.
Right.
And like all like problematic people are dead. And we get to like look at them and be like, LOL, you're dead. And we get like endless reign of just like water parks. And like we bring back VHS. And we just like are always watching things on VCR.
I think you, MJ Rodriguez, and Emma Roberts going down a water slide.
That's like my dream. That's literally my dream.
I didn't know you had a water park dream, and I feel like we can like
Yeah.
make that happen for you.
Yeah, what's with the
know.
water? What's with the water part of that?
I love water parks and I love water. I'm a Pisces, but like the problem with water parks is that like there's always people there. Are you a Pisces? I feel like you and I are like, yes. So good. I love you guys. But like I think the water parks are always like too crowded, and there's always like 10 people with band-aids that are all corroded and they're ruining it for all of us. So in the apocalypse, water parks are gonna be great.
Super clean.
No one will be there. I mean, yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
the lazy river.
It'll be
Yeah,
super
water parks in my mind are just
But
urine
gross.
on plastic.
They are.
Yeah, but
Literally-
not in my dream scenario.
Just
And I
someone-
won't ruin that for you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Someone like pee directly on you. I feel like
Yeah.
at the water park. This might as well.
Yeah, I know. When you get peed on without like consent, it
Yeah,
sucks.
right.
Like when you're like,
Always.
this is not like
This is not what I
Not
wanted.
my crush. Like it's a child's pee.
Our next guest is the Russian sex worker who Trump peed on.
Honestly, would be on brand.
Yeah.
It would be on brand.
Well, anyway, and now it's time for today's guest. Benito Skinner is a 25-year-old Brooklyn-based creator who initially gained notoriety for his hilarious impressions of celebrities and people we come across every day. Whether you know him from his comedy tour, astrology, dating videos, or hilarious viral posts, he is a force to be reckoned with. Take a look.
One sec, babe. Hello, mama. So good to see you.
She's canceled.
Perfect. And then I was like, anal doesn't count. Babe, this dinner is so fun. My set is totally crushing. What? I bring a mic everywhere. So what's new with you, babe? Okay, I'm gonna pretend like I'm listening until I can talk about myself. Oh my god, should I tell him about the time I met Hillary Duff? Wow, he is not gonna stop. All right, oh my god, he is. 3, 2, 1. Totally. So
Everyone, please give a warm Bill Brunch welcome to Benito Skinner. Benito, I'm so happy you're here.
I know, I'm so excited.
We're like meeting.
I'm gonna like steal your ice cream.
Yeah,
Please.
did he get you one?
Oh,
I know.
budgets.
okay.
You don't look like the type of person who eats ice cream.
Yeah, you're too beautiful.
Every now and then.
compliment,
Oh my god,
yeah.
stop. No, I do.
Anyway, like we saw in the video before, you do these amazing astrology videos that are like gone viral. I'm a huge fan of them. And you're just dating a Gemini. What goes into making these videos?
Oh my god. So the astrology videos are really terrifying because people are very intense about their own
Yeah.
signs. So what I do is I research as much as I can. So like I go on Wikipedia, like I do the whole thing, and then I read like a bunch of like Cosmo.
Yeah, of course.
You know, like this is what it's like to date that sign.
Right.
And so then I write a script based on the character I choose, which that is also terrifying because if my followers don't like the character,
Right.
then I'm in trouble. I'm terrified. And then after I have the script and the character, then I ask my followers to like give me info about the sign to like fact check it. and then I film it and hope it goes well
Right.
and make it psychotic.
You sound like almost you're a victim to your followers.
Sometimes for the astrologies, yes, because I am like, I want to deliver,
Right.
because especially those who have waited for their sign, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. So what was the first one you did, and what made you want to do this?
So I'm a Scorpio, and so I made the Scorpio one, and it was supposed to be just that. Like I had no intention of doing all the signs, but then I was like, okay, it could be kind of fun to see new scenarios for my characters and kind of like have to challenge myself in that way. And it's been helpful. I like know all the signs now, so I can.
No, you're like an
give people
expert.
dating advice. Yeah, I'm an astrologist.
We've had like the premier
Miller.
Susan Miller, the premier expert.
She read our charts and changed
It's my
our lives.
emerald year.
Oh my God!
I know.
Anything's possible.
I-
And the
anything-
first Pride. Oh my God!
I know, yeah, it's my
I'm so
emerald year.
excited. That's gonna be
Aw.
amazing.
Yeah.
But so,
Here.
do you base your characters like usually off celebrities, or do you find people in your own life to draw inspiration from?
Usually, it's actually for celebrities. I just do the celebrity.
Right.
If I'm gonna base anything, I'm just like, fine. I'll just like be Kris Jenner, which like I could be her every day. I love being Kris Jenner. But a lot of them are like people from my high school or college, and some are like my siblings as well,
Right.
and friends.
Do they get
Sometimes,
mad?
Like, no, they're pretty chill about it. A lot of the people who I base the characters on, I don't see. So.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't know for
Doesn't matter.
sure.
They don't know
That's
for
it.
sure, but like I've used a few lines that maybe are wink, wink. Yeah, yeah.
And you also had a live comedy show called the Overcompensating Tour, and it
Yes,
sold
yeah.
out pretty quickly. So what was that like?
It was so much fun. I'd kind of been like holed up in a Williamsburg Starbucks for months just editing these videos. And so I was like, I would love to hear like real laughter and actually like see people's faces and kind of also gauge from that like what people are excited about or how I could kind of make a live show out of, or like a long form show instead of just that like little 1 minute on the internet. So it was so much fun. I mean, like people were crazy and so fun.
Yeah.
Like I loved it. Yeah, so much energy.
How different is that, like the stand-up versus the making videos? Like, which one do you prefer, or are they both kind of good for you?
I think sketch is like my first love, so like I always will prefer that. But live shows are just like so exhilarating and terrifying, and I chose to do a portion of my show just stand up. So that was like such a beast to like figure out how to conquer that, which I don't know if anyone can like truly conquer stand up, but it was just a fun challenge. I kind of knew that any path I wanted to go in this career, that I would have to be doing something live at some point, whether it be an audition, a show. So I was like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, it's like terrifying and thrilling.
Yeah,
at
it was
the
so
time,
thrilling. Yeah, and it is so much fun. Yeah.
I love that. And so, how did it feel when you started noticing like you were becoming viral and you were like this huge internet sensation? Like, was there a moment where you're like, oh, it's
you.
me?
Fame changed you?
Yeah.
I'm so different.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah, all the Idaho's out of me. I'm a new.
Oh, you're
I'm-
from Idaho?
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah,
Whoa.
Boise. Hi, Boise. Boise. What's up, girl? What are you up to? Okay, ask the question again. Now that I said the thing about Idaho, I'm like,
how does it
yeah.
feel to just be perfect?
oh my God, it's good. It feels really good. During Pride, I am perfect.
Yeah.
We're all
Yeah.
perfect.
No, like, so when did you start noticing that you were
yeah,
becoming
okay.
like viral, this internet sensation that people are, you have like people who are obsessed with you. Like, we're obsessed with you. That's why you're
Thank
here.
you. Oh my God. I think what happened was I was working at this startup, I was editing videos a lot, and then I made the Queer Eye parody, and that kind of like, I finally got some like articles written about me, and people started to reach out and wanted me to, maybe work with their brand or audition for a show or something like that. So Queer Eye, and then that same week, I released a video of me imitating Kim Kardashian's Snapchats, which I thought like no one would be interested, because I was like, Kardashian stuff is so saturated online that like everyone's gonna be like, no, we don't want to see more of them, but they did, and that was like crazy. So that week kind of changed like everything.
Wow.
That's awesome. And how do you stay like being active? Because you can't just like stop uploading videos. So how do you stay inspired? And like, is there ever a day where you're like, I don't want to do any of these characters?
Oh yeah, for sure.
What do you do?
I try to. Well, I always write down, if I'm feeling like super creative, I write down as many ideas as possible in my notes, so that days on when I have literally nothing, I can like go back and maybe get inspired. Like I recently did a Gen Z intern character,
Yeah, that was
and
funny.
that had kind of been building for so long. Like I had written down some lines, and people had told me about having Gen Z interns and some of the lines they would say, and then that was something where I had Gemini and I didn't really have another video going, and I was like, okay, let's reach back into the archive, see if that can work. And and it was so much fun. So.
How long does it take you to make like the intern video? How long did that take?
Those are easier. The astrology ones take a long time. As far as like editing, I'm much faster now, but if there's no green screen and there's no like real makeup, it's probably half the time, but editing is still like, it's never shorter than like
worst.
5 hours.
Yeah.
It's really,
Painstaking.
and I'm kind of like a
have to
perfectionist
be,
on it.
though,
Yeah, so and if like I can, now, I mean, it's scary. Like, I can know if the music is like a tiny bit off in this one section, and if I post it, it will drive me crazy forever. And it lives there now, so I'm like...
Because the internet is forever.
Exactly, it's forever, and I'm like, all these people are gonna see it, and I can't delete it. They've, who
I've
knows,
deleted.
so.
It's the worst feeling too when you're like, that had so many likes, but it's
I
driving
know.
me insane.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we heard that the Lizzie McGuire movie is your favorite movie.
It really is.
Tell us about that.
Oh my God, I just think it's like the campiest. It has like pop, it has high drama,
Italian
the
accents.
costumes, exactly, Italian accents, couture. I mean, yeah, I think I just like, that movie made me so happy as a kid, and now if it's on TV, like I will watch that to the end.
I haven't seen that in so long. I need to check it out.
I just have, hey now, hey now.
Yeah,
Should we
me
all
too.
sing it?
This is
Oh my God, she's
We
up
all
on the
just
thing.
fall back
Hey girl, hey Hill. I love
You
it.
are clearly doing so much. What is next for you? What can we expect to
Oh,
see?
I'm so excited. So for Pride, I'm doing a show at Caroline's on Broadway.
Nice.
So I'm super excited about that. It's the overcompensating show, but I have like a few new bits in it that I'm excited to do. So doing that, and a portion of ticket sales go to the Trevor Project. So that's gonna be awesome. I'm really excited. And then I'm kind of writing a show right now, like a TV show, trying to figure out how that would work. And then so many sketches, like too many. That I'm excited for everybody to see. There's some fun ones.
Well,
coming, so.
we cannot wait for all of that, but before you go,
Yes,
we want to like do a little acting with you, a game with you,
Yes,
because you're a
improv.
legend.
I love
so,
it.
like,
Okay.
This is impressions in certain situations. And
Yeah,
I'm gonna
okay.
read 3
Oh, God,
situations,
okay.
and the ladies will be your.
We'll set you up.
We'll
Okay.
each have
We're your scene partners.
set you up. Okay, the
good,
first
okay.
scenario
Yeah.
is Chris and Courtney at lunch, and they got Chris's order wrong.
So, Mom, they messed up your order.
This is ridiculous. Service? Hello? God damn it, Court. What's your name again?
My name's Courtney, I think.
God, doll. Hey, hello?
The eyes.
I really only say, hey, doll. Hey, doll. Yeah, like,
Chelsea.
hello.
Hey,
I was
doll.
trying to remember the restaurant they go. They always go to like 2 restaurants.
Like,
that,
yeah, what
are they? It's
Not La
like,
Scala, is it? No, it's
it
like.
probably is.
It might be. It's
Yeah.
always the same 2 restaurants.
Yeah,
that
I'm
walk
like,
in.
yeah. Okay.
What's your name again?
Yeah, exactly.
The next
Sorry,
situation
Court.
is Lizzie McGuire and
Okay.
Gordo are gonna plan their next getaway together.
Okay. You're Gordo.
Yeah. I'm going.
Okay.
So like Lizzie, Miranda asked if she can come to the trip with us, and I told her that we only had 2 tickets, but I think she's in love with you.
Are you serious? What? But Gordo, I thought you were in love with me.
Oh.
You know, she always did like the belt loops. Like you have, this is where you put your hands.
Exactly
Right?
that.
She's like, oh.
So
I
good.
love it. Yeah, okay.
Okay,
That was my Lizzie voice.
That was good. That was really good. That was good.
Like, Gordo.
Last situation. Okay.
Oh, this is hard. I'm
Gail
not in.
King
Okay.
is interviewing Jonathan Van Ness because he's gonna announce his presidential campaign for 2020.
Gorgeous. He's running for president?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Jonathan,
Yes, honey.
what is your future plans for America?
My future plans? Well, I want it gay. Gorgeous. Absolutely perfect. Snatched. Yes, honey? Yes, honey?
Oh my God! Amazing.
Perfect.
God.
Benito, thank you so much.
Oh
for
my
joining
God,
us.
thank you. I'm like, yeah.
Everyone, make
This is
sure
so
to
much
follow
fun.
Benito on social media at BennyDrama7 for more hilarious viral content. We will see you all tomorrow, same time, same table. Goodbye, everyone.
you.